Thank you. Honorable Lumumba.
Yes, please.
In 2019, you participated in that very famous walk.
Yes.
What was the outcome?
One, within the government, we improved the law. Because during that discussion, we realized that we needed to improve the law to do with corruption. And we've gone on improving. And that is also when the decision was taken to bring in, apart from having the law on paper and practicing it, to bring in technology that helps to solve the issue of corruption or mitigate. That's when I remember the issue of IFMIS came in, and at that time when IFMIS was brought in, the issues to do with the financing using the IFMIS system, at that time the anti-corruption agencies didn't have access to that system. But as time went on, we realized that the agencies should have access to that system. Let me give an example. The IGG should be able to trace the money, how the permanent secretary of ICT has paid an innovator, and what has the innovator done. Even CID should have access. Even State House Anti-Corruption Unit should have access. So when we had that work during 2016, it now brought in the discussion of technology to bring systems that can curb this. And that's when, you remember, we also amended the law to do with the procurement, so that we have the e-procurement system, so that you apply online, and every evaluation is done, you receive feedback online, and if there is anybody who wants to appeal, can appeal. The only challenge we faced in that is that it is moving on smoothly, but the IGG, when somebody appeals on an issue to do with corruption, there is no time frame within which the petition can be listened to and be disposed of. So that one also makes procurement petitions take long, especially in that institution. While the other institutions, there is a capping by law. There is a cap to that effect. Then it was also during that time that during the work that government took a decision to also change the law to take on e-procurement, but also to change to make sure we have all of these systems that were coming in the government to be centralized. And now they are centralized under the Ministry of ICT. And when were the iron sheets? And out of now you're asking about, now you're bringing iron sheets.
Yes.
Can you allow me complete the other sentence? Okay. Now, out of the about 800 systems that are within the government, the ICT systems, now about 380 have been centralized under government, so that is meant to help us to have the register, so that nobody goes out to procure a system that already exists in the government, to avoid duplication, because that is also another corruption that we used to have. So it is by NITAU.
And who is the provider for NITAU?
So NITAU is managed by our government, the team at NITAU. So now when you talk of, now that is also another area that we looked at as government, and so there was duplication. There was duplication. I said the work started the discussion to use IT to fight corruption. So I'm now explaining what happened then after. So now now there is no system that government can approve until the Ministry of ICT has checked it and even has accepted that we don't have such a system in government. We arrest that at the table of the Solicitor General or Attorney General. And also issues to do with the why that work. People used to think that corruption is with us only who are in government, but also brought on board also the public to know that if you see any corruption taking place, it is denying you the service as the ordinary people. And that is now also, we also looked at the Whistleblowers Act. because there was little effort, little reward for the whistleblower. And that is when amendment was brought, so that if there is a whistleblower, then what is there for the whistleblower
but
when
again,
they succeed?
While you sound very committed to fighting corruption, don't you find it awkward that the principal comes out and says, don't go for lifestyle audits, you'll scare away people? And in other instance, the president also comes out and says, for as long as they invest here, it's okay. Let the corrupt be. So isn't that blowing hot and cold?
The president has made those statements. Yes, I've heard him. But also, after making those statements, discussions have gone on, and that has changed. And that's why you see, of recent, we have also had some kind of lifestyle audits in certain people, and some of them are already even before court. So I don't want to go into details of that, because you as a media person, you are also supposed to be an investigator and get to this. So he can make statement as a head of state, but those who are listening, not necessarily actually people in the government, even those from outside government, can have a discussion with him. And sometimes he has had change of...
Before I get to Honorable Otto, as a Minister for National Guidance, do you find it appropriate that technical officers should be paraded and condemned before the public?
Not only... What do you mean?
In courts of law. There was once Minister Wang doing the same thing that Balaam is doing today. Do you find that fine?
What they are supposed to do, because according to our law, everybody is innocent until proved guilty. That is the principle. So what they are supposed to do is to get their findings and give their findings to the anti-corruption agencies that can prosecute in courts of law. But this is just awakening people to tell them that, you know, this was meant to be this, but it didn't happen in this way. And then the government is going to bring to book the person who didn't do the right thing.
Honorable Otto, you call this some bit of awakening, chasing chicken thieves. Are you persuaded to believe that this will be sustained?
You see, let's get to simple maths. Our budget is 80 trillion, right, Mwiru? Out of that, 9.5% of that money is going to local government, which means about 8.5 trillion is going to local government. So Balaam is chasing the 8.5 trillion. No one is knowing where the 75 trillion is. It's like if you're walking in town, you're carrying bread, bananas, and a mobile phone, and they all happen to fall down. Any reasonable person would have to pick the phone first, then you pick the banana. You can't pick the banana, then pick the Apple phone. So I see what Balaam is doing is a good thing. It's a good thing. It's like someone in intensive care for you giving that person perfume, combing the hair. It's not bad, but it's like picking the banana and leaving the smartphone. So where Uganda has reached, half of the cabinet ministers are corrupt. I can say with authority. A person like Amos Lugolobi, he removed iron sheets for Karamoja and put it on the rooftop of his cow shed. In law, that one we call it strict liability offense. Everyone sees the iron sheet in the rooftop of the cow.
He was cleared, so you can't...
Cleared? Who cleared?
You can't publicly accuse him.
He was actually cleared by court.
Yeah, now you see, I'm even coming there. So all the institutions to fight government have been compromised. We have courts of law. I am a practicing lawyer, Mwiru as well. One of these days I'll make a decision to have no business to do with the judiciary. I have gone to court myself to apply for bail. In one court, they even adjourned court, and the presiding officer called me in chambers that here bail, we do it for 3 million. I said, no, but this client has not even paid me that if you don't want to give the 3 million, we are going to give bail cash 4 million. But if you give me the 3 million, we shall give non-cash bail for 0 shillings. So the institutions that Uganda should rely on, like the judiciary, is compromised deeply. The DPP, the Director of Public Prosecution, in every district, you have resident state attorneys. I don't want to mention a district. I was invited by a client they were charged aggravated assault. And the prosecutor was saying, if the person can arrange some 2 million, they can give a lesser charge.